All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Crypto Corey. I just want to talk to you real quick about it. Just a few simple things. A lot of people are still kind of in Veve. Not a lot. It's really, honestly, it's a few people. And our goal is to get you out and get you out safely. The OMI team is predatory on their fees and how they manage their company. And I'm about to just real quick explain to you the number one reason why your Veve investment will not recover from what it did from its all-time highs. So essentially, the best way I could explain this is back in 2020 and 2021, we were getting drops, and back then there was so much hype. And what would happen is everyone would go for the drops all at once, and then all of a sudden things sold out literally instantly, like within not even a full second. It was like within the click of the button. If you didn't click it fast enough, you would not get the collectible. And people would do things like get Ethernet adapters and speed up their phone and turn down the clicks rates and things like that. And they would even try to make sure they had the best ping in order to get these drops. Well, the reason for that is because there were bots. There were electronic accounts that would work either in the market or would work on drops and would obtain these drops before you had the opportunity of getting it. These bots were allowed to continue well into 2022. Now, on top of the drops, you had what was called third-party sales. A third-party sale, you had no marketplace, you had no way to, or you had a marketplace, but you had no way to cash out your earnings from Veve. So what people did, and what was allowed at the time, is you were able to either transfer gems or transfer collectibles from one account to another. So what people would do is they would go on Facebook, they would go on Reddit, they would do whatever. They would talk to each other, and they would make deals outside of the Veve marketplace, and they would just do the transfers via an escrow. You'd have an intermediary. And the gems that would be transferred were trading, I think, like 70 to 80 cents on the dollar. And eventually, at the very end, right before we got cash out, people were trading gems at 30 cents on the dollar, which is insane. That's a huge drop in price, the value of the gems. Well, these bot accounts would use escrows via third party and would get PayPal and Venmo, and they would get paid for their major gains that they got on some of these. If you want a good example, Killer Croc, I think it was somewhere around $60 to $80 for the drop, and in the same day, it was flipping. People were selling and flipping it, not even at like a low mint price. Just in general, the base price of Killer Croc got to over 2,000 gems, $2,000, what we thought was $2,000 at the time. So these bots that were selling these things off and making thousands of dollars off of less than $100 worth of an investment, they were going back and selling their gems 70 cents on the dollar, and they were cashing out that way, making tons of money. Then all of a sudden, Veve halted all transfers because of the bots and because of the third-party sales and because of gem exploits. Because of all of this, all of a sudden, the values of these items fell off a cliff. And this fall off the cliff moment happened exactly when the rest of the crypto market and the stock market began to drop dramatically. Now, if you were a believer in the project, which I was still at the time, I held on to my stuff through the big portion of the drop. If you were a believer of the project, you would believe that after about a 2-year drop, you'd have a recovery, a basic level recovery, and then usually sometime around the 3rd, 4th year, you would start to see growth in both the collectible prices and in the OMI token price. In reality, we've actually seen OMI just in the last day has made an all-time low, the all-time low. So if you're sitting there thinking that this investment's going to work out, the bots gave you a false sense of value. The third-party sales allowed people to take your money, your hard-earned money, and to sell it, and they made their money off of it. So because of that, and let's just not even get into the broken promises, the lies, the things that the OMI team themselves have said that either didn't come true or that they just flat out were just telling you and then they never mentioned them ever again. But let's just forget all that. But you need to get out of Veve. There is no exit ramp without a 10% fee. 10%, which is insane. You are not getting private wallets. And we already know from other platforms with major IP, they're able to put their stuff in a wallet. Veve, you're never going to be able to do that. The Veveverse is a glorified Veve vault where people can visit. There's no intrinsic value in it. These are not avatars. You don't get special access passes to events. You're not getting into Disney World for free because you've got a partner statue. These things are just bleeding. And if you are still in the hobby, you need to get out. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but I want to thank you for joining me. My name is Crypto Corey, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day.